Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between.
It is 8:30 p.m. in Vienna, which means it's time for It Should Be About Something.
That's right.
Today is January the 6th, 2022.
The sixth sheep is sick.
The 6th.
The sixth. There was a band called The Sixths.
I hate those guys.
Yeah. It is episode number 57, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Michael.
Is 57 a prime number?
I don't know.
I think it is. It's a prime number.
How was your week?
How was your week, Jim?
My week was pretty good. While we catch each other up, why don't you tell us how your week was in the chat? Do the thing.
Yeah. I see follower of Clay was posted something here 3 days ago and posted on Isbaz HQ about it. And I don't know where your comments went, dude. Like, I'm really mad at YouTube about that.
Life is tough.
Life is tough.
Life is super tough.
Because I actually did that. I posted something in the chat.
Yeah?
Of one of our English Lovers shows like 2 days ahead.
Right.
And it was still there when we got to the show. So I don't know what happened. Follower of Clay, we shall follow this up. Yes. And give those YouTube execs a talking to.
Talking to Hirschhausen.
You said Hirschhausen?
Yeah.
But it sounded like, you shall sing.
That's exactly it. Well,
I'm drinking.
okay.
God damn.
Slurps. Slurp.
You know, with all this lockdown shit, I don't get to drink much. So it's really nice to have a drinking day.
A day for drinking.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be drinking.
Yeah. You know, every Thursday, I know Friday's going to be a little later in the morning than perhaps usually.
White wine with a fish, James, and... Oh! Verena's making us her waiters.
I see. I'll have white wine with fish, James and Michael. By the by, part of my week, thanks for asking, was checking out the Isbaz HQ and all of the stuff that people posted of things that they're doing. And I saw that the film that Verena was in. There was a young woman in that movie as well who I taught recently. She's at the film school. She was also in it. And it's great job. Way to go, Verena. Really nice. Yeah, it was really nice.
All the cogs kind of fitting in there, like meshing nicely.
On that film? Yeah.
I mean, with the community.
With the community, yes. Absolutely.
Nice.
Speaking of the community, we had a great big New Year's. New Year's was part of our last week, right? We last saw each other.
It's the 6th.
Yeah, we saw each other last year.
We saw each other last year. So the last time we did Isbaz was last year.
The last time we did Isbaz was last year. It's a whole new year.
Yeah, Christina was telling me today that she's in this twins Facebook.
Of course
Instagram,
she is.
Instagram group.
Of course she is.
And there was a lady who gave birth to the first twin on the 31st.
Oh, I saw that.
And
yeah.
the second twin on the 1st.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
yeah.
although they're twins, they have 2 different birthdays in 2 different years.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Yes, so yeah, that's true.
There was a lot of food still for me over the last week.
Right. Yes, we'll be coming to that.
Yeah.
Food.
And there wasn't a lot else, I guess. There was a lot of hanging out.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I've worked yet this year.
I was supposed to be. I would have had been back from Zurich because I was supposed to perform in Zurich on the 4th and the 5th. And that got canceled.
Yeah, I was supposed to have a gig on the 3rd, and that didn't happen either because, I don't know, they fell asleep on the job and then they hired somebody else.
Yeah.
So, fuck them.
Fuck them all.
But on the subject of, also this week,
Yes.
I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that we're not going to find a house before our kids are born. So,
Right.
bit of a tough week because we were looking for furniture, like also baby-proofing our apartment.
Wow, that's going to take a while, isn't it? Baby-proofing your apartment?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get like a vault.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a swing door vault where I can put all my weapons.
Yeah. I mean,
So yeah, so we were in and out of IKEA and Lina and what? Jim is louder than Michael.
yeah. I don't know why. Michael should just turn up a little bit.
Your microphone's closer to your face.
That could possibly
He's
be a reason.
cheating.
Cheating.
Now I should be better.
Yeah.
So in and out of IKEA and other Einrichtungshäuser, which
Right.
is like my favorite thing to do.
Of course it is.
Really put me in a good mood.
Yeah.
For like days on end.
So you went there looking for the baby-proofing stuff?
Yeah, kind of in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But then we found some furniture online at half price.
Nice.
And we bought it just unseen off the internet. So we'll see.
Okay. And they're delivering it?
Yes, they're delivering it in 3 weeks, we hope.
That's crazy. Let's take a look at how everybody's week was doing. We got Philly Girl 1000 in the house. Moco is in the house.
What's with the ghosty ghost?
Ghosty, because she's just going, it's
Christina
Christina.
is complaining about shit not working for him.
Yeah. Christina Las Smulik in the house. Marcus, hello. He's a shark guy today. Hi. He's high. Verena, of course.
Everybody here is high.
Everybody wave to
in
Verena.
some way or the other.
Verena, wave to the screen.
Toughest.
Yep.
Father of Clay.
Father of Clay. So, where are we now? Muchato is here. Excellent. Yes, Victoria. Victoria, she is awesome. And maybe I should have posted the film that I wrote and produced myself. Yeah, do that. Keep doing that. Love it.
Yeah, no, I think we should have Isbaz HQ as a hot box of all the shit we're doing.
Yes, let's keep
Let's
hotboxing
just throw everything in there.
the HQ.
Yeah. I want Isbaz HQ to be driving down the road with the windows open, just a crack, and smoke coming out.
Yeah, yeah. Looking like a Cheech and Chong.
Can't see in, but there's lots of smoke coming out. Looks like that car's on fire. By the way,
Yes.
Cheech Marin was in a movie that we were watching the other day, wasn't he?
That we were watching the other day?
And I was thinking, he looks so young. Has he had an op on his face? Because it was a very recent movie.
Okay.
Were we not watching this movie together?
No.
I was watching it with somebody else. But Cheech Marin was in it. And he looked the healthiest he's looked in all his life. The healthiest and the youngest he's looked in all his life.
Props to the makeup department.
Yeah.
There.
Dang. And miracle department. Miracle makeup department.
Makeup department. We make miracles.
Yes. Show's off to a good start.
Yeah. I'm hoping, this is not my past week, but my coming week, I'm going to a TAMA for the first time.
You are going to be in a sauna. Are you going to go in a sauna?
I'll try it.
I think you should.
I'm not a big fan of saunas. I always try
When's
them.
the last time you did a sauna?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
How many is a couple of years?
Yeah, about 2
you're
years ago.
old.
I
You're
mean,
old.
pandemic. I haven't been in a sauna since the pandemic.
Okay.
And before that, once a year, I'll try it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You've never tried it with me.
I've never tried it with you. I generally don't like it.
So what don't you like about
I get
saunas?
hot and itchy very quickly, and I can't relax, and I feel
So is it-
claustrophobic.
oh, I see. So you're supposed to get hot.
Yeah, I don't mind
And
the
the
hot.
itchy is because your skin gets activated by the sauna.
Okay, I find it
You
uncomfortable.
don't like the activation?
I don't like that activation.
I think you should lean into it. Like, remember the first time you got high?
Yeah.
Like you don't remember. The first time you get high, you're like, oh, I'm not sure this is good or not. And your friends are like, just relax into it.
I hear what
Just-
you're saying,
just
yeah.
let it flow over you.
I've tried those lower temperature Kräutersauna kind of things.
They're for pussies.
Yeah, that also was like the steam, like a Dampfbad.
No, steam's good.
I can deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can hang there for a while. I generally don't have a problem there. But sauna was never really my thing. I was
So
kinda like,
what you should
I like
do-
hot tubs.
Yeah.
I like hot tubs. I
Mm.
can hang out in a hot tub for a while.
But you're going to
Lean
Pro
into
Place, right?
Yeah, this is a pro place.
And I've been to this place.
This is a Uncle Mike
and
approved pro place.
It's partly approved by Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
But anyway,
As much as anything can be
we can
approved by
review
Uncle
this. We can review this when you get back.
Okay. We're going to start reviewing things now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think this is the way to go. That you've never been to a pro sauna before.
No.
Don't put me on close up.
Oh, you're going to tell us?
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to them.
Okay, tell
Talking
me.
to you.
All right, tell me.
So
All right, tell me. Tell me, what am I doing at the pro
I need a
sauna?
ruler so I can slap his fingers when he tries to press the buttons.
The slap will not be in sync.
So they're gonna have people come in and do the whole spiel with the rigmarole,
Ah, okay.
and you get to cream yourself up with different kinds of creams that smell different, and some of them are salt, and some of them are
Right.
lavender.
In the sauna?
Like you
It's
cream
not just
yourself
going
up.
into the wooden room and sitting there with the...
No, and then they do an aroma
Okay.
thing and the whole thing, and then you get to shower down afterwards, and it makes your skin really smooth. And
All right. I'm looking
so
forward to
check
that.
it out. We'll talk about this when you get back.
I once went to a place. I was at a theater festival in Würzburg at the Würzburg Festival, and we had a day off, and the trainers. It was me. It was Patty was there.
Patty Styles.
Patty Styles, the
Like
lovely
her.
and talented. Amy Shostak, the lovely and talented.
She's got the best name in show business. Like if you were born Showstack, you're born to be on stage.
Yeah, man.
I want to be Michael Showstack.
Yeah, I mean it's not as good as.
It's a stacker show. It's like the best stacker show you will ever see.
It's good. It's not as good as Jim, Professor Jim Magic Dick Libby Funk, but
Is that the name that Bootsy Collins gave you?
No, that's the name that I got from Magic Dick, the harmonica player for the Jay Giles band.
So there are people in this world who are born with
With
the name
awesome names.
Magic Dick. Yeah.
Yeah. I never told you that story?
No,
I must have told
heard,
you this.
But I'm confusing it with Bootsy Collins coming on to you.
No, he never come on to. He gave me well, I guess it was a little bit of a come on. Man, I missed that one.
He's flirting with you, dude.
He totally, yeah. In any case, I will try this. So I'm at this theater festival with these guys, and Mike Kennard, and we go in, and it was a pro place, now that you're mentioning it, because there was a guy who came in, and he was talking about it, and I remember I'm sitting in there, and most of the people were naked, but the North Americans were wearing bathing suits. And the dude who came in was talking, and he could see the side eyes that people were getting. And instead of being a dick, because by all rights he could have been a dick, but he was super cool. And he said in German so that the North Americans didn't understand, but he said that, you'll notice that we have some visitors from away. Their cultures are different than ours. We thank you for, allowing them to do what they do, and you guys just do what you do. And everybody in the room relaxed. All the people that were
kind of uptight about them not being naked.
the Germans, they kind of relaxed. And I thought that was really stand up with that dude.
Cool.
That was cool. Yeah, okay, so I think I get what you mean by pro place. So now I'm looking forward to this. I will try the sauna, and then we can review it.
And if you get really hot and uncomfortable, you shouldn't sit up top. You should sit down low, because there's a huge difference in temperature.
Really?
Huge difference.
Huge. All right. I'm into it. I'll tell you all about it when I get
Good.
back.
And maybe ice bathing is Jim's thing. Well, the ice bathing thing is only really good if you've been in the sauna first.
Yeah.
And that makes your skin agitated.
Yeah.
In such a good way. You know what?
What?
Coming out of the sauna and jumping in the cold water
Yeah.
it gives me the same physical feeling as being high.
Really?
Yeah, I get the giggles.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, right. Because it's such a rush of adrenaline that you are just like, ah.
Yeah, but
Or is it endorphin?
It's endorphin as well, probably.
Like
it really
a euphoria.
It feels exactly the same way as being high.
Wild.
Yeah.
All right, I'm into it.
So
I am into it.
we shall review this next week. We're going to specifically review the wellness hotel that you're going to. Because
Okay.
I've been there.
Right, and we can compare notes.
We can compare notes.
Because we review things now. That's right. It should be about something. It's on the judgment tip.
We should review last week's show. We're gonna do a watch party on Facebook and review our last week's show.
We're gonna do a watch party, and we're gonna give this 4 out of 5 slurps.
What were you smoking, Michael? Follower of Clay. You can't ask me what I was using live. Like, send me a DM, man. Come on. Get with it.
Wow.
Okay, it was not your mead.
You weren't smoking
I
the
wasn't
mead?
smoking his mead.
Hey, I'm smoking mead, man. Pass that mead, man. You want? This is the best. Oh.
Yeah, Moko, totally. After the sauna. Yeah, after the sauna. I don't know what. I don't know what follower of Clay, what kind of clay he's been eating. Following. Shall we get on to this?
I would like to.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We're gonna. Isbaz comes to you. It should be about something comes to you in 3 parts. We call them chapters, and we're gonna get into those. If you are joining us for the first time, get on the chat and say hi. These are some of the nicest people you're ever gonna meet, and we'd love to know that you're out there. Coming up right now, though, is chapter number 1. On New Year's resolutions.
So, are you someone who believes in New Year's resolutions? Do you buy into the idea? Do you actually do it, or do you make a point of not making New Year's resolutions?
If you do it, and you want to share your New Year's resolution, we would love to hear it.
If you don't do it,
Yeah.
and you get caught out making one anyway, share that with us.
I like it.
Yeah. So, Jim, what are your New Year's resolutions? Do you have any for this year?
Okay.
Are you a believer?
Am I a believer? There were times in my life where I was a believer, and I've stopped believing.
Oh, he's so jaded.
I'm jaded.
Times have changed.
I'm a Mandarin.
Oh my God.
First of all, I decided I'm First and foremost, I'm going to give myself a New Year's absolution.
What do you mean? For everything you've done for the past 50 years?
The absolution is for all of the idiotic,
I like it.
bullshit
Yeah, good.
stuff that I did in the year previous, and giving myself a clean slate to fuck up again.
Sweet. I like it. I'm giving myself New Year's absolution as well.
New Year's absolution.
Ich erteile dir die Absolution.
Omnibus optibus, I missed the bus, she caught the bus.
With a spritz of vodka. Yes.
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch.
Leave all your sins in the 31st.
Just
Good. Nice.
That's
sweet,
my
Simon.
thing.
So your New Year's resolution is to give yourself absolution.
absolution.
Cool.
Now, that said, I do kind of like the idea of goal setting.
Yeah.
The I am resolved, the resolution of it.
The year is a good place to do that because it's a good place to kind of start.
Absolutely. My problem is with the resolvedness, and this is where it always breaks down because, with the best intentions, you start something, I do, and then it's programmed to fail.
Right.
Somehow. I'm not sure why.
So you should make a New Year's resolution to follow through on things.
And so, yeah, perhaps that's it, but I will fail. So instead of being resolved, I will do this. I think maybe something for me better is to set
attainable
intentions.
goals?
Well, no, not even a goal, but intentions. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I intend to.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just working this out right now.
Hang on. What was that?
I blew my wad on absolution.
That's a good resolution.
Yeah.
The bare. Oh yes, that's right. The bare minimum workout.
The bare minimum.
I'm a big believer in doing the bare minimum of anything. So
Right.
The bare minimum to-do list, the bare minimum workout, the
Right.
bare minimum whatever.
Right.
So instead of setting yourself a goal of saying I'm going to do a 10-minute workout, or I'm going to do 100 push-ups, or I'm going to go shopping today, you're going to say I'm going to do one. I'm going to do one push-up.
Yeah.
I'm going to work out for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm going to open the fridge and see if I actually need to go shopping.
Right.
It's a bare minimum way of approaching things, right? And usually what happens is you do a little bit of the bare minimum, then you kind of get into it and you do the rest.
Absolutely.
So that's, I think that's a great way to trick yourself into attainable goals.
I agree wholeheartedly. The other thing that for me that I would like to do more of this year is something that I find incredibly fruitful. Like when you and I have a meeting and we're like, okay, we're going to get together, we're going to work on this thing, whether it be for the lovers or for whatever. The simple fact of having a date, a time to meet, and then to say, okay, we've got 3 hours, we're going to get done what we can get done is great for me. And so for one thing that I would like to do is I'm going to put this into the HQ, I want to find people who, at certain times
are available
to make a date, and then we get onto Zoom or whatever.
Is it. So it's not. I want to add this. It's not just about making a date and finding a place to do it or something to do. Right, making a list of the things you want to do. It's doing it with somebody else, so that you're not only what's the word I'm looking for?
You're responsible?
You're not responsible yourself.
Right.
Somebody else is in this thing with you.
Yeah.
And then you feel responsible because you don't want to let them down.
Yeah, I can let myself down.
Exactly.
Easy.
That's super easy, right?
If
you do it on your own, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah.
Right? But if you make a date with somebody else, it's like
I'm not going to miss that.
You don't want to let them down, right?
Of course not.
So then you will do the bare minimum so that you can live up to the promise that you've made of doing a thing, right? Which is the reason why I like working with other people so much.
Yeah.
And sharing responsibilities for things because it's so much easier to get things done.
I always used to think it was because when I was younger I had these issues where I truly believed that in a previous life I had been walled up in a wall because I really craved connection. I craved collaboration.
You're reminding me of that anti-war film where I think it's Billy Goes to War, and he gets his arms and his legs.
Oh yeah,
off,
yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
And then he's
Yeah.
he has
Yeah,
no
yeah.
way of communicating, and he's all wrapped up in a band.
Yeah. Oh, nightmare.
And they use that sujet again for the
Metallica
one.
Yeah. That video was amazing because it was
But it's
from
based
from the movie.
on a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah. So in any case, I really like collaboration. I used to go to the movies, but I hate going to the movies alone. I know you're laughing at something else.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, going to the movies alone. Yeah.
I hate it. I would be really. I want to have somebody at my elbow, not because I need to talk to them through the whole thing, but
You want to review it afterwards.
perhaps. But there's just something about that shared experience that makes it that much more enjoyable.
Right.
For
Oh
me.
no, totally. Yeah, I agree.
And
But
so-
you don't want them to talk to you.
I don't need
during
them
the
talking.
movie. No talking.
No.
No talking
And
during the movie.
And so setting up this, I don't know if it's an accountability buddy or just setting up a work date where you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, but we can kind of check in while we're there, or we've given at least the bare minimum is we've said we're going to meet here so we both know we're on the mat.
So it's kind of like having an office community.
It's
You
like
say,
having an office,
we're gonna-
a
we're gonna
virtual
meet-
office community.
We're going to meet at 10.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna kind of hook up, and then everybody's gonna do their
Have
work.
a quick little
and then
coffee, say hi, and then everyone does their
Come
thing.
back and say, well, I'm working on this, and I'm kind of making progress, and we can compare notes and stuff.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, right. So let's see what these people are telling us. So, Follower of Clay was I'm not smoking, dude.
Yeah. The ice thing,
The
one of
ice
his
thing.
son to survive mentally insane without killing.
Yeah, totally.
Moko.
So-
survive, staying mentally sane,
Yeah.
and without killing anyone.
Yeah.
This is a terrific resolution.
Try not to die this year. Also, try not to kill anyone.
Yeah. Let's keep the deaths and whether they be of yours or your others
Just like keep deaths at a minimum.
at a minimum.
Bare minimum.
Marcus says, I'm old enough to get scared by my birthdays into making resolutions. So it's your birthday. That's when you, okay. You click up one more ratchet and you're like, time's
Yeah, it's
getting short.
interesting actually because a friend of mine had a birthday yesterday, and I was chatting with her on Facebook, and she's a year younger than I am,
Right.
and we went to school together like in the 80s, and seeing her birthday, like her age, turn up on Facebook can really put my age into perspective.
Right.
So I was like, fuck. I never feel that old until I see somebody else's birthday. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm only young.
Well, you aren't.
Right.
That's the thing. You aren't. We
Well,
aren't.
not up here.
Well, we aren't. But what I mean is, between the ages of 20 and 50, you are in between everybody. You're in the middle. You can be as old as the older people in your life. You can be as young as the younger people in your life. But once you get to 50, now you're totally on this. You're
So you're saying
range-
I'm now on the
you're ranging out.
but I'm on the bottom end now
Yeah.
of old people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like
exactly.
So like 10 years ago, you could hang out with a 25-year-old and still have something.
Like 3 years ago, I could hang out with a 25-year-old and think, we're kind of in the same pocket. But
Yeah, but that's
now
not
it's
happening
like,
anymore.
Now I feel like Uncle Mike.
Yeah. Intend it to is like saying if is instant failure. I know what you mean. For me, it's
my first thought.
a difference between
No, you
what
understood
I
because-
should
because
or
we-
what you
because-
could. Yeah.
I think it's how you define intend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Doing short workouts at your age, Michael, is not good since you have to warm up first and at least for half an hour.
Yeah, but I mentally dig your grave every time before I do that. So I think
That's
I'm
his
pretty
warm
warmed
up. That's Michael's warm up. Good.
I think of making mounds somewhere and,
We
and putting people who are called Follower of Clay in them.
We
After I've taken all
recommit
their
to our
mead.
goals daily together. Is that you and your partner?
No, I think
Machado?
this is what she's talking about of being in like a virtual office
Yeah.
setting or something. Like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
that's- maybe that's
exactly.
it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. but you have someone to discuss the film after. Exactly. Yes. Resolution. Less broken body parts.
I have resolved that for you as well. Like,
Yeah.
I put up a little prayer for you there, Verena.
Be happy and travel again. Maybe even for vacation.
Jesus. I'd like to travel professionally again.
Me too.
Fuck me. I'd love to travel professionally again. Like, I can't remember when last I traveled professionally.
I'd love to do anything professionally again.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, good. I recommend bubble wrap.
Yeah, we're gonna put Verena in rubble bap.
Rubble bap.
Rubble bap. Rubble bap. Rubble bap. What are your resolutions?
speak
And
from
do you have
experience.
any, or are you jumping on
Okay,
the...
so my newest New Year's resolution, which I made today,
Yes.
is never again to eat leftover New Year's Eve party food at your place a week after the party. Because my guts really fucking hated me today. They took me to the labby several times.
Oh, was it the... I think it was the...
I think it was that dip.
that
I think that dip was no longer dippable.
that dip was no longer dippable.
Yeah, and I was hungry, so I ate all the dip. And I was like, damn, was it how because Christina's fine, right?
Yeah.
She had none of the dip.
She didn't
So
have the dip.
First I was blaming last night's dinner and today's lunch.
Right.
But then I realized on the way here that
It was the salmon
the meal that we didn't have in common was the dip at your place yesterday.
But I didn't have any salmon.
Travel professionally to Texas.
Ethan Pelletier, how you doing, Neffel? Way to be in the house. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Make resolutions. There's always a plan to follow. Yeah. We
doubt making resolutions. What? Mushado, you
Slurp, slurp.
need to drink less. No,
Or
you need
more.
to drink more or less.
More or less, yeah. Is it time to...
Oh yes. Okay, fine. Let's do that. Are you drunk?
I've got
Drunk?
a
So
segue.
Mushado.
I got a segue for this. So, one of the ISBAS New Year's resolutions we've resolved. We review stuff now, and we're going to start by reviewing this. Can I get a close up, please?
Oh yes, you can.
This is called White Claw Hard Seltzer, natural lime. Now, I have been in Austria now long enough to be able to say the thing that so many Austrians have said to me over the years. I don't know what that is. I've only seen it in films. I've only read about it in the news. I've only seen this on TV. I have only ever seen this on TV.
Check, Mushado. I'm cracking up here. That's so supposed to be don't.
I think we don't make
this is for you, Mushado. We are going to review an alcoholic beverage for you.
That's right. So we review things now, as we've mentioned.
You can't start all day if you don't start drinking in the morning, and this is
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Absolutely true.
This was my motto.
We've proven this several times.
Yeah, that's usually
on several summer holidays. We've proven this.
Yeah. And so it's called White Claw Hard Seltzer, natural lime. Apparently, all of the hipsters in all of America drink this now, and either you love it or you hate it. I think we know what Michael's going to be doing. It says made without compromise, using sparkling water, triple distilled spirit, and natural flavors to deliver a taste of pure refreshment.
So how can it
and
be
a hard
made?
seltzer like no other. White Claw Hard Seltzer.
How's it made without compromise? If they can't even put what kind of alcohol they put in, there's triple distilled spirit. What is that? That just means the cheapest vodka they could find.
Bathtub gin. It's just a bunch of
We don't compromise.
It's just bathtub gin, triple distilled.
BTG.
BTG. So, it's got a good cracking
When
sound.
you want to drink all night. When do you start drinking if you want to drink all night? Damn, that's a good question, Verena.
Okay, so
You've broken the mold here, girl. Everybody wave to Verena. She's done like the best thing that's happened in the show already.
well, I think drinking all day is part of night, right? No? So then I guess you have to start drinking at noon. Day drinking. starts you off for the night.
What time?
What I love is Philly Girl 1000 is saying that this is now passé.
It's passé?
Yeah.
Sure it is.
If my mom knows that it's already passé,
Jesus, we are screwed.
this is why Austria is 10 years in the past.
You know, we're gonna cut this bit of video out and put it on the adult channel somewhere. We're gonna put it on the pensionate channel somewhere.
All right, everybody, we're gonna try this crazy new drink called White Claw. It's,
So okay, now I think I actually have the answer for you there, Verena. If you want to drink all night, you have to make sure that you started a day early, and you go blind.
She says 5-ish.
5-ish.
Ethan says the morning. Follower of Clay says around 5. Let's call it dusk. Dusk. You should start drinking at dusk. If you want to drink all night, start at dusk.
So the best place to drink at dusk is Finland because it's dusk for
all the
fucking time. So cheers. Okay, this is White Claw Lime.
This is White Claw
made natural
lime, made without compromise. It's a very limey smell, but it's very
It smells like Rose's lime juice, actually. It's not bad.
I've got notes of my other drink.
It smells a little bit like a soap, though.
Yeah.
It smells like a bath time product. All right. Are you taking a sip of water to clean your palate? You're gonna cleanse your palate for this crap?
No, I'm smelling too much of the.
Oh, I see.
Red Bull.
The other stuff. The Red Bull and the gummy bears. Okay, I'm drinking.
All right.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Wow, that's like drinking a urinal cake.
You speak from experience?
Yes.
It smells much better than it tastes. It tastes boring. It really tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's got that lemony pledge.
Dishwasher.
Dishwasher.
Something like a bath product or something. Mm-hmm. But why does it smell like it doesn't taste anything like it smells? Okay, do we have to drink the rest of it?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So Philly Girl 1000, have you had pledge? I mean,
Have you ever had to drink a urinal cake? No? Well, try this.
So this is not good. This is like the other one that we had was way better than this, and I'm not saying the other one was good. This is really not nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what they were on about, but I'm glad they're off of it.
It's definitely made with a lot of compromises.
Yeah.
Like
Apparently,
they were cutting corners with this shit.
Verena and Follower of Clay have a problem with the dusk thing. You know why? Because you should never do anything at dusk. When it's dusk, I think Steve Martin had a thing about that. Never at dusk. Like about getting high. Never at dusk. So never do anything at dusk. Do it just before.
And Brumpa is correct. It is passé. Ethan Pelletier, telling it like it is.
Yeah. It's beer for people who compromise. Well, I mean, I get the idea of having, it's a very low calorie thing. It's only 4.5.
Yeah, but it's horrible.
It's
really,
just
like this. So this one really is horrible.
Yeah.
We had what was the other one? Blackcurrant, black cherry.
Black cherry.
That was way better than this.
I feel
But
like
I
you
would
could
still
make
not
a
drink it
cocktail
second
out of this.
No.
Not this one, but I mean like the black cherry. I mean just the flavored seltzer water.
You'd be wasting good booze.
Yeah, no bueno. Not into it.
No, I'm not going to drink the rest of this.
Okay.
This is horrible. It tastes a little bit like one of those things you get to rinse your mouth out at the dentist's.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh man, and once you've had it in your mouth and you smell it again, it really does smell like urinal cake. You're right. I've never drunk or eaten urinal cake, but this is what it smells like. This is what
I imagine this is what it's like. No, that's the vodka.
It smells like a urinal. It doesn't only smell like urinal cake. You know the way the urinal changes smell once you've taken a pee in it, or like 100 people have taken a pee in it? That mixture of urine and urinal cake?
Yeah.
That's what this smells and tastes like.
It's no bueno.
Well, I don't know what it tastes like. Because
Wine coolers.
I've never been face down in a urinal before.
I've never been face down in a urinal.
I mean, you would think with the bad experiences that I've had with alcohol and stuff, I would have ended up face down in a urinal a couple of times, but it never happened.
No. It's not.
But now I kind of know what it would be like.
So, I would say 1 out of 5 slurps for
No.
0 out of 5 slurps.
So we'd give it 1 out of 50 slurps.
Our scale is going to be 50 slurps.
Well, if we're gonna be reviewing stuff this bad, yes.
I see.
1 out of 100 slurps.
Jesus.
1 out of 150 slurps. Stop me anytime you're ready.
Okay.
No, so
Please stop.
Let's give it 1 out of 50.
I think
50 is a good scale.
50 slurps, 1 out of 50.
We could go to 24. Let's be British about it. And multiples of 12. 1 out of 36. Slurpy slurp. Now, please, 1 out of 50. Let's stay metric on this. Let's stay metric on this.
All right. You got to come back. So, I think we did it, though. We figured out that resolutions are good for some people, but absolution is best. So,
Absolution is better, yeah.
shoot first and ask the questions later. It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
Absolutely. And yes, follower of Clay, send booze. Please.
Yes, always send booze.
Send booze. You have my address.
And if anybody's into this idea of having our virtual workspace, let us know in the ISBAZ HQ, because I'm super into it. I'll post something as well.
By the way, hang on, I didn't get to say everything about New Year's resolutions.
Oh, pardon me. Well,
so one of my New Year's resolutions, actually, my probably New Year's resolutions, besides not eating leftovers at your place, is limiting my consumption of Twitter. I spend way too much time on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I got rid of that a long time ago.
So I've now resolved to consume most of my Twitter when I'm on public transport, because then I'm kind of looking for things to do.
Right.
Things to occupy myself for like a couple of minutes. And reading a book on public transport, if you're going short distances, doesn't really work. So I'm going to try and do Twitter on public.
Okay.
That's the one thing, and the other thing is I'm going to try to only play games on my phone after hours, like no longer during working hours.
Ah, yeah. You kind of got into the bubble game trap for a little while there, haven't you? It's not bubble. I call it the bubble game trap because I used to have
Tetris.
Yeah, it's Tetris. Yeah.
Yeah, Philly Girl 1000. You know what I'm talking about.
She does. Philly Girl 1000, when I moved out, that's when she got a Nintendo and played Dr. Mario until all hours of the night, and Tetris. My mom was killer on Tetris. All right, we do need to move on. Because
technically, alcohol is a solution, not a resolution. I like that. Ethan, put that in a poem.
Yeah.
I like it.
Alcohol.
Technically, it's a solution.
There's a Simpsons line about beer being the cause.
It's the cause and the solution.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought that was don't do anything past 1:30. I'm not sure what that one means. Though they do say, there used to be, there's that old saying, what was it, Casey Stengel, that said, if you ain't got it by midnight, you probably ain't gonna get it. And if you do, it probably ain't worth it. Words to live by.
Yeah, but there's also something to be said for fallen fruit.
Foreign fruit?
Fallen fruit.
Well, it depends on, different cities have midnight at different times.
I guess it depends when your dusk was.
It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. It's not quite midnight.
That's how you drink
in
all
San
night,
Diego.
Elena. You just choose a place that's, choose a place on the map.
Hey, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We should go home. It's only 2 o'clock in Chicago. Let's keep going.
That's it. Good. Cool.
It's 5 o'clock in Macau. Okay. Try is so destined. There is no try. There is only do. Yeah, okay, Moko.
Moko's like, stop fucking around, you boy.
Yeah.
Like pull your trousers up and your socks.
Moko.
Yeah.
Man,
Moko's moved into 2022 with like both elbows out.
yeah. She's like ready to fuck it up. So Michael does play games on the phone. I have given up. I got rid of all the games on my phone. I had to get rid of it. And you'll get there. But I think it's a good resolution to only do them after hours because
This is interesting actually because I am somebody who can get really addicted to playing games. But interestingly, I'm not, because except for like the past couple of weeks of Tetris.
Yeah.
Because I've really gone down a Tetris rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But I really don't care about most games.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Like,
But
I used to hang out at the games arcade every day when I was a teenager and play all sorts of shit, right? But I
It's a
think
different
for the
thing.
most
The
part, I
game-
kind of got it out of my system, and it was way more fun playing it in the arcade with that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I think playing it on your computer is like, yeah. But I went down the Tetris rabbit hole. Yeah. What can I say?
Yeah.
What can I say?
they are addiction machines.
Tetris
They
is
really
the best
are.
game in the world.
Okay. Moko, I've got teenage kids. There are only elbows.
I'm gonna have that tattooed on my kids.
You don't know your elbow from your asshole. You couldn't tell your ass from your elbow. What was that line? Remember that?
Yeah, you can't tell your ass from your elbow.
We need to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors,
there's
and
another one.
everybody in between, I'm shutting him up because we've got to go to chapter 2. We're moving it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the chapter 2.
Yeah, I know. That's what you always do.
Okay,
No.
so chapter 2 is, I've forgotten what chapter 2 is because I didn't read what's on the screen.
It's getting scammed on the internet. It's a whole new chapter.
A whole new ball game.
Whole new ball game. So,
who has got scammed on the internet and what have you got scammed at? And has someone tried to scam you on the internet and have you gotten away? Were you the one that got away? When's the last time somebody tried to scam you on the internet? So, let us know in the chat below.
please. Internet scams. Michael, this is so a chapter from you. What is this? What does this mean? Have you ever been scammed? What brought this up?
Well, I think there's different kinds of scams on the internet.
Yeah,
There are the definite
The classics.
the criminal scams where there are actually real criminals behind the scam.
Yeah.
And then there's businesses that have a kind of scam going, where they'll kind of cheat you or. You sign up for something that you didn't really want to sign up for, and then they send you a bill for it. And yeah, so I've had experiences with those. Like, unfortunately, Mr. Perkins isn't online with us tonight because Mr. Perkins helped me out of one of those scams once.
Which one did he help you out?
I think we've spoken about this actually. Have we spoken about this?
Maybe. No, I don't think we have spoken
So
about it.
I was something popped up while I was surfing something, and oh my god!
Tell your
Wife's
story.
company held in for
Tell your story.
yeah.
Tell your story. We'll get to this in a minute.
Something popped up on my screen when I was surfing, and it was some casino, some kind of online casino thing, and it was like play this game 3 times for free or whatever, and I played it, and somehow I managed to sign up.
Right.
Oh no, I do remember what it was, and then it was like you could play the game, and then you could immediately rescind on the signing up. But you had to send them an email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I sent them an email, but I got the email address wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent me a bill for like 200 euros or something. And I was like, fuck, I sent them an email. I went and checked my emails and I thought, oh, damn, it's the wrong email address. I got the email address wrong. So first what I did is I copied the email that I'd sent them. I photocopied it and I photoshopped it and I sent it to them and they said, no, we need the original email. I was fuck, what do I do? So I wrote to Mr. Perkins and I said, can you help me out of this bind? And he says, yeah, sure, send me the HTML file. And I send it to him and he sends it back and I open the email and it is correct. Wow, this is brilliant. So I send this to them and I don't hear anything for like 6 weeks. And Mr. Perkins contacted me in the meantime. He's like, so you heard back from them? And I'm like, nope. He's like, they're probably trying to figure out how you did that. their tech department is like looking under every rock, trying to figure out how the fuck you did that.
Right.
So then I finally got a letter back. It was like, okay, no, fine, good. You don't owe us any money.
Love it.
And I was like, wow.
Love
So
it.
actually, I scammed them.
You totally scammed them. You are the scammer. Michael is the scammer. Have you seen this man? Wanted, dead or alive. The casino scammer.
This man has contacts. Talk to him if you want to get out of things.
Yeah, no shit.
And then the other thing was, Christina got scammed by one of these sites about 10, 15 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, right? So you could go onto the site and you could, I think she was looking for poems or something for school.
Okay.
And she downloaded something.
That's fun. Oh, just trying to remember poems and scams.
And she downloaded some poems from this website. It was a collection, like an online library kind of thing.
Right.
And somehow she'd signed up for a membership of this library, and then they sent her a bill.
Okay.
She was like, well, she never signed up for this, but it was, you click on too many buttons and then you're signed up, right?
Yeah.
And then they kept sending her a bill, and she was like, I'm not going to fucking pay this. And they started threatening her, like, we're going to send a collection agency to your house.
Jesus. Yeah.
And then I kind of went online and I researched whether this is actually legal or not.
Yeah.
And then I found a paragraph in German law, and it was a German company, they were based in Munich, that was particular to this kind of operation, and that it's not legal. Like they need a real written signature, or they did 12 years ago.
Right.
So I sent them an email saying, present the signed contract of this.
Yeah.
Or stop sending us this, we'll take legal action. We never heard from them again.
Exactly. Didn't you have a scam, like a dude you were buying a boat part?
Oh no, I was selling a motorcycle.
Yeah. What was that?
I was selling a motorcycle online.
Yeah.
And I posted the ad on eBay.
Uh-huh.
And 10 minutes later, I got this, I'd forgotten this completely.
Yeah.
I get an email from a guy in Romania. He says, no, not in Romania, in
Nigeria.
No, on the Black Sea.
Romania, Bulgaria, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan,
Georgia. No, not Georgia. Fucking Ukraine. So I get an email. I get an email from a guy who says he's a US GI and he's based in the Ukraine.
Right.
And he really loves my motorcycle and he wants to buy it.
Yeah.
And I should just send it to him.
Yeah.
And he's going to pay me.
Yeah, he is.
Good, fine, great. So deposit this to my PayPal account. And he's like, okay, so he's got a buddy in Vienna who's going to come pick up the motorcycle.
Oh, cool.
From me and transport it down to Ukraine, right? Like Kiev, right? And I'm like, good, fine, just hook your buddy up with me. And he's like, okay, so I need to pay this guy as well. And I'm going to pay him 300 euros to transport the bike. And I'm like, fine, yeah, good. I'm going to deposit the fees for the motorcycle, like the money for the motorcycle, plus the fees for the transport to your PayPal account, and you pay the guy when he comes to pick up the bike. And I'm like, yeah, fine. And then what he did was he sent me a fake deposit slip.
Like a fake email?
That he's deposited to my account.
Right.
And it had a fake PayPal click button on it, right? And I'm like, okay. And I think I got it on my mobile, and I wasn't using PayPal on my mobile. Mm-hmm. And then I went to my computer, opened up PayPal, and there was no money on there. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh. He sent me a fake confirmation of deposit to my PayPal account. So I just ignored him. And then he started threatening me with like, so I've deposited to your account and you haven't think. And then I got fake PayPal notices saying this your account will be closed or limited or whatever if you don't take action here, and you need to let this customer have his thing. I just ignored it all, and it just went away.
Yeah. Ignoring it is really good.
Well, there's things that you can ignore. Like Christina, I think, ignored that online library for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Until they started threatening to send a collection agency.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are things that go. They just lose interest in pursuing you.
So, let's go to the chat here real quick.
Still waiting for my millions from Nigeria.
Yeah. The Nigerian scams are amazing. My wife's company's info was held hostage. Excellent.
God.
I mean, that's going to happen more and more.
So what? But Ethan, you need to tell us what did you do to get out of it? Like what happened?
Did they pay it? Mark is always trying. So far, nobody around to establish a convincing email address. I'm not sure what that means. So far, nobody got around to establish a. I'm not sure what that means. Does it mean that you're trying to scam other people?
No, I think he means that the email addresses that the scams come from are always ridiculous.
Yeah, they always look ridiculous. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's right. If you've never been scammed, then you are the scammer.
If you've never been scammed, then you are the scammer.
Yeah,
it's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
So your hope is fine. There is no rule saying that.
Moko's just living in a house with teenagers, so she's got her elbows out. So
I'm sure they're scamming.
Sure
they're scamming her the whole time. Philly Girl 1000 says, just before Christmas, I had a blaring message that my computer was breached and do not turn off. Call the number on the screen. Oh, one of those ones. And Einstein's boy, Mary Lucas, cleaned it pronto.
Nice. I mean, my phone rang around about the same time, Donna, and it's I think it was a US phone number. No, it was German. It was a weird German phone number. Like it was a German code, German country code, but too few digits to look like a German phone number.
And then when you pick up, do you hear that?
No. I picked up. I was like,
So you pick it up.
The phone. And it's a guy with a very heavy Indian accent saying, this is Steve, I'm calling about your computer. You have Microsoft open and there is something going on. I was like, and I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
And there was silence and then he hung up.
Yeah. So there was a whole spate in November. I don't know if this was happening to you, where I was getting phone calls, robocalls, I guess, or somebody who would then eventually, start asking you questions about something. Right. But at the beginning of the call, I would be like, okay, this is a weird number, but I do get weird numbers sometimes, so okay. And then you hear the, where because of the automated system,
it's connecting you via 5 servers.
Yeah. There's a bit of a sound and then you hear, hello, what are we calling about, or whatever it is, and. The thing that I always do, if I don't hear that first, I hang up. But if I hear them, the first thing I always do is I just yell, no, and then I hang up.
Oh.
Because somebody was telling me that they are recording these things. And if you say thank you or yes, I don't want any, there have been cases of people like, they cut up that recording, so it's instead of you saying yes, no, thank you, that then they put in yes, thank you.
Oh, right.
Well, we recorded you saying
yes, thank you. Right.
So I just yelled no, and then
I've really got into watching this one guy on YouTube, and I can't remember what his name is, but I guess I could post it on Isbaz HQ. He does videos of he's a Mr. Perkins.
Yeah.
And he does videos of himself killing scammers.
Those are so good. Oh my God! I don't know if this is the same dude, but
this guy's so good.
English fella?
No, he's American.
Okay.
And we're like the scammers. Like he can see them in their office.
Yes,
because he's hacked into their office.
I've followed a couple of these guys.
They are begging him to give them their files back, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. or there's some where they keep these people on forever. Forever. It's so fucking funny. So.
They don't negotiate with terrorists. Is that what happened?
That's wheat happened.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I hope they got their data back.
Yeah. Did they pay? They didn't pay. What happened? They didn't negotiate. So what came out of it? So I wanted to. Okay. So my connection between scammers and poetry.
Right.
Because you about this book about. Okay. So
Scam library.
I have somewhere on a hard drive. I'm going to say between the years of 2005, 6 to whenever I got my first iPad. I collected spam emails.
Right.
So I would there was during this time there was a spate of time where all spam emails, it was just text. It was like randomized text.
Okay.
And I started collecting these because they were beautiful. They became, for me, they were like, it was like found art. And that I collected them with the intention.
Found art.
Unintentional found art. Well, I mean, I found it. It's unintentional art that
You
I
made it art.
found.
You
I
made
made
it art by deciding you
by
found
putting
it.
it on the pedestal. So my intention was to take all of these
We got
emails.
into a big fight about art yesterday, so this is where this is coming from.
No, it's not.
No, what I said. That's where I said.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. So my thing is, I just want to tell you that I will find this. I want to find this because I collected all of them, and they were gorgeous. Where it would just kind of like, it would be a sentence until halfway, and then it would change direction, and it was like beat poetry, flow of consciousness.
Right.
I could totally take 3 of these emails and hit a poetry slam stage
But what was
and
the scam?
win that shit.
What was the scam?
Well, they were spam emails trying.
Spam emails, just trying to get you to click on the button.
Yeah. They were phishing emails and stuff,
Right.
but they weren't cognitive, hello, I'm a Nigerian prince, I've got $1 million and I want you to do this. It was, hi, Jim, blah, 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 just trying to get through spam
Moco.
filters. It was basically
like Moco's beat poetry.
drunken Moco on speed.
No, it was Machado. It was Machado, not Moco.
Yeah, sorry, Moco. Drunken Machado on speed. And shit, I gotta find those things.
Cool.
I gotta find those
I've had a
things.
huge amount of spam emails and phishing emails going to one of my email addresses like in the past 3 months. And I think it's because there's been a breach on that server.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I get 3 to 4 a day saying you've won the lottery, cheap home insurance, yeah.
I just need to say quick to Ethan Pelletier, it only took 3 weeks. They got their data back apparently, didn't pay a dime or a Bitcoin. I'm really sorry, man. Next time it'll work. Maybe go further outside. Don't go to your wife's company. Try a different company. I'm sure the scam will work.
Yeah.
It'll work, man.
Yeah.
Just keep plugging away. Yeah. So
scamming your own wife's company.
if we had...
That's close to home, man.
Yeah, man.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, they never suspected. They never suspected. The call
I
is
think
coming
they
from
don't.
inside the house.
I think they do actually. It's like an inside job is
It's always the first.
it's always the first thing.
Always the
everybody
first
thinks
thing.
about. It's an inside job.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Speaking of an
go-to
inside
these days.
job, if there's anybody out there, I gotta remind us to do this. The inside job with the English Lovers, Michael and I, with the wonderful English Lovers, did a show. We've done a show for years called Unpack the Rat, and there was a recording of a song that we did about these 3 women who rob a
Janet
bank.
and someone on Janet and June.
Yeah.
The 5
Mary,
Janice, and June.
Joan.
A 5. They took out a 5-finger loan.
The 5-finger loan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to find that, and it was totally an inside job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always an inside
3
job.
ladies who work in a bank and then rob it. Yeah.
So I've never actually been scammed, but I love these emails, and I really want to find those again. That was really cool. But is there a scam that we could possibly do?
Like an HQ scam.
Yeah, an ISBAZ HQ scam. We can devise a scam. We send a bunch of emails. I mean, I love the fact, that idea that people, those scam emails that get sent out, they're always in poor English. They always, and it's a filter because the people that will still then engage with it are really on the hook.
Oh.
That's why they do it.
They
are
already
purposefully
filtering out everybody who's critical of that.
They're purposefully done that way so that people who don't notice or don't care
Yes, that's wow.
are still in.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
So Machado, You've been drinking. It's not Mocha. You've been drinking. I don't actually understand this Microsoft thing here. You used to get Microsoft scam calls quite frequently. Then Peter told them to fuck off, and the guy phoned back and crapped him out. So the scammer called back and was
That's some chutzpah. That's some chutzpah.
you don't
right
talk
there.
to me like that.
Yeah.
What? Jesus.
That reminds me.
No, follower of Clay. You got it the wrong way around. This is going to be the Isbaz scam. We're going to take random addresses, send them Isbaz stickers, and then say, you owe us money for those stickers.
That's a classic scam. That's like the tarring of the driveway scam, you know?
You sent them back. You didn't send them back, so you got
Obviously, you wanted them, so...
It's like the washing of the window scam.
Yeah. Tarring the driveway scam. Demand money for stickers. You could pretend to do a show on YouTube and then send people a sticker when they pay you. This is the scam.
So we have this.
Shit, Michael, they figured it out. We gotta go.
We have an idea for a show. Was it a lockdown show? Or something. So the idea was that we create a work of art that is performed live, but not in front of an audience.
Yeah, no,
and
this
then
was-
the scam was we could get money
From the government.
for performing this piece of art without performing it, because there's nobody there to make sure that it gets performed.
But we would perform it
No.
every night.
Yes, it would
But
be
no one's
performed-
allowed to see it.
It would be performed every night for a run of like 200 nights.
Yeah. 200 nights. It's gonna run and run and run in this.
Well, we
room.
don't need an audience, so we don't need to sell tickets.
No, you sell tickets. Oh no, you don't sell
You
tickets
don't sell
because
tickets.
it's being funded by the government.
You get a grant
Because
to do the show.
That was yeah.
But never. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. Yep. A follower of Clay, we think alike.
Yeah, because they both typed in that we are the scam.
we are
Isbaz.
the scam. Isbaz is the scam.
Yeah. Michael and I are going to become professional scammers. Heiratsschwindler. And
Jesus, that must be so much work.
that must be so much work.
What is a Heiratsschwindler in English?
It is a gold digger?
Yeah, I
Although
think that's
gold diggers generally,
yeah,
a Heiratsschwindler is meistens a man and a gold digger is meistens a woman.
Yeah. Okay, we'll check this out. So I think we actually need to move on.
You want to move on?
I think we need
from
to move on.
scams?
I think I want to move on from scams. Yeah.
Well, speaking of scams, here is a word from our sponsors, or to them.
This is the face people make when they've got scammed. And this is the face they make when they find it's not a scam.
Yeah.
When they get their stickers.
Yeah. It's a whole other which we'll talk about. This is your reaction video to our to the commercial.
Now back to the show. Yeah.
There you go. How
Yay.
was that?
So chapter 3,
Well, hold on a second.
con woman. Sorry, no, not con woman.
A con woman. Yeah. Heiratsschwindler. But the con.
Oh, I see. I thought I'd called you a con man, and that you were insisting on being called a con woman.
Oh,
but
I see.
It's not the same thing, actually. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would never call you a con woman, Marina. I think I respect you enough to call you a con man.
All right. Let's talk for a second.
Let's get real here.
Michael. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So before we move on to chapter 3,
Yeah.
we do want to mention the fact that we have these wonderful stickers,
Yes.
which Verena and Follower of Clay have mentioned. And if you want to have some of these stickers, they're pretty cool. They say it should be about something. They say hug it out. They say
It should be about something Thursdays.
yes. And we're thinking about getting some new stuff. It's going to be awesome. But if you want to get those stickers, all you have to do is put a little bit of something in our PayPal.
Yeah.
And put your home address, your postal address.
So basically, this is how our PayPal works, right?
Tell me.
Our PayPal is kind of like that eat all you can for a donation Indian restaurant. So I challenge you to put as little as you can
Yeah.
into our PayPal
Yeah.
and see if you still get stickers.
Yeah. We'll
Right.
probably end up paying PayPal to get the donation. But fuck it. Who cares?
Tom Crawley and I had this game where we challenged ourselves to go to that Indian place in the 9th district.
Right.
It was like, just pay as much as you want, right? And how much we could kind of, with a straight face, how little we could pay after having a whole meal. And I think the least I ever paid was 50 cents. Wow. I had 3 helpings.
But they don't give a shit.
I think they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pick up my
marriage
next.
fraudster. Yeah, Madam Fraudster, actually. Verena, that's my new name for you, Madam Fraudster.
Madam Fraudster? A marriage fraudster is a Heiratsschwindler. Yeah, it's not a. It's
Yeah,
not
we need to check
quite.
this out. So, Dan B. Who the hell is Dan B?
Hello, Dan B.
Dan B is someone new.
Dan B, nice to see you. A con artist. Yeah, but it's a very specific kind of con artist who
Is a long
specializes
con, in the long
in
con. In a long con.
marrying.
Well, finding people, pretending to be in love, getting married, and then
Yeah,
getting divorced and taking money.
that's right.
Or
That's right. There was
spending,
a time.
spending the money themselves. Or-
There was a time for quite a while when we would do blind dates, where when I asked for my character's profession, I very often got Heiratsschwindler.
Really?
Yeah,
I got Playboy.
yeah. They love to see that shit. Stripper.
Like, I haven't got Playboy for, I don't know, 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm past it.
The times move on.
I'm beyond my prime.
Well, Verena
Hello from
is.
Hamburg.
Hey, Dan B from
I'm not
Hamburg.
even married.
Verena's not even married. No,
married.
no. You're not married, but
Married.
you could totally be the con artist.
You could be Madam Fraudster.
I don't know what
shoot a
that is.
movie.
I love that she could put in a bubble.
Moin moin.
Moin moin to Hamburg.
Dan B from Hamburg. Yeah, nice of you to join us, man. Stay on the chat. What's our next topic, actually?
You want to move on to the next topic?
Well, I was going to say, I think we should shoot a short movie with Verena.
Yeah.
Called Madam Fraudster.
Madam Fraudster.
And Verena plays Madam Fraudster, and we just do a 5-minute short.
Of her
We come up with a.
marrying an older man.
No, I don't think it needs to be that. It can be just like, what does Madame Fraudster do in her home? Well, I don't know. I like this idea of Madame Fraudster.
Well, I really like the idea of like that sort of elite con. You know, like there's such a romance to that.
Yeah, you're talking about like The Sting.
Well, yeah, of course, The Sting, and there's a lot of those. Do you remember there used to be a TV show, I'm going to say late 80s, called Night Court?
No.
And there was this, the judge, it was a guy named Harry, somebody out there is going to help me out. I remember having a book of his, and it was a book full, he was like a close-up magician, con man,
Okay.
sort of a dude, sort of like...
It was a courtroom thing?
Night Court was, yes. But he
this guy was accused in Night Court.
no, this guy played the judge.
Oh, I see.
And he was in the show. He was a former con man who became a judge, and it was a really interesting. And the guy's name was Harry something or other, and I'm blanking on his name. But there's a romance to that. There's a romance to the pickpocket. There's a romance to the con. There's a romance to the misdirection, and I would love to see it. I met a guy recently who was his show was close-up magic and that sort of thing. And he said the thing with pickpockets nowadays, like he used to be able to, do the thing where he'd take the watch without you noticing or take the tie off. And he was like, people don't dress anymore. Nobody wears watches. Nobody wears ties. Nobody carries billfolds anymore.
Yeah.
It's just terrible for that because everything's in your phone. So you can take the person's phone, but it's not nearly as impressive as taking off the person's watch or their tie.
Yeah, wow, how do you do that?
It's amazing shit.
Incredible, yeah.
So to see Verena in a movie called Madame Fraudster, where she just does a bunch of that shit.
Well,
you know,
she's already moved on here. For like we do it in the style of the Christmas show and film noir, like that detective episode that we did.
Oh, that was a good one. Was I telling that story?
Yeah,
I
I
told the
think-
story
I
and
think
you
you-
played the detective?
yeah, I think so.
That was really nice. Yeah, you killed in that. You killed in that.
We-
Judge
we-
Harry
we
Stone,
could.
Philly Girl 1000, yes. And Judge Harry Stone, the actor's name was Harry something or other, and I still have that book. I will bring you that book. You'll love it. It's really cool. It's filled with all kinds of nice
I
things.
like this. Anna says, I miss Leipzig, but she wrote miss with capital. So it's like, I miss Leipzig. I miss Leipzig.
I miss Leipzig.
Yes, he is Miss Leipzig.
Leipzig.
Judge Harry Stone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only Jim thinks a man's hand in his pocket is romantic. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Shut up. Okay.
Junior. Junior.
We're moving on,
Yeah,
people.
please.
Chapter 3.
Bang. Can I get a refill here?
Chapter 3. On first impressions. Speaking of which, slurp, slurp. Harry Anderson.
Yeah, I think Philly Girl 1000's
Killing it.
she's cheating. She's looking it up on Google.
I don't call it cheating. I call that collaboration. So,
Yeah, it's
on first impressions.
Yeah, it's not a pub quiz.
It's not a pub quiz. That's right. Isbaz is not a pub quiz. So, cheers, cheers. Slurp, slurp.
Slurp, slurp.
First impressions. Let's start, if you will, Uncle Mike. I would like to start with the idea of when you meet somebody for the first time. Those first, there's no second chance for a first impression. So, when you meet somebody for the first time, what are things that you are looking out for? What are the red flags or the blue flags? I don't know.
So
or
is
the green
there,
flags?
is there
Green
a
flags?
list, or are there things that turn you off when you meet people the first
What
time?
are the
right?
things that
Or
what are
turn
things
you
that you
on?
enjoy or
What do you like to see?
about a first impression? What makes somebody give you a good first impression? So that's my first question to you, Michael. What do you look for when you meet somebody for the first time? What do you have a thing? Is there a scan that goes on for you?
Yeah.
Is there something you're looking for? You just take it all in?
No.
All right, let me break it down further. Let me break it down for you. Let me give you
Okay,
let me
good,
give you
good,
something
good, good.
concrete.
Please do break
Okay.
it down.
You gotten an email. You go to the cafe to have the meeting about whatever it is. You're meeting the person for the first time. The table's moving, but you can't even see it.
We're playing Ouija board here.
Ouija board with the table.
Yeah.
You meet them for the first time.
Right.
What goes on? What do you notice first? It's a man. What do you notice first?
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, but I think this has made it a little bit more concrete. What I do notice when I meet somebody for the first time is how are they dressed?
Ah, okay.
So, are they a snappy dresser or are they a sloppy dresser? And with sloppy dresser, I also mean like if you meet somebody in winter and they're wearing a jacket or a coat that has visibly not been to the dry cleaners in 5 years.
Yes.
Like it's got those greasy parts on it, and I find that as a total turn off.
Right.
Like if you won't take your coat to the dry cleaners once or at least every second year, that makes a bad first impression on me.
Right. Because it represents something about that person. It shows you that they aren't following through or whatever. It's part of that matrix. Okay. So how they're dressed.
It's like they totally don't care how they present themselves. Also, greasy hair is a total turnoff.
I got it.
I went to look at an apartment about a week ago, and this Viennese character, like a total Viennese character from a movie that was shot in Vienna in the 60s, right? Yeah. He had the wooden Dr. Scholl sandals with the socks, and he had a belly.
Yeah.
He had a paunch 3 times the size of his head. And I think he had glasses, and he was short, and he was like, we go up the stairs, and then I show you, like, and that was all charming, except for the fact that his hair hadn't been washed in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, part of it was stuck to his scalp, and the other part was kind of hanging down his head.
Yeah, and often there's like big flakes of dandruff stuck to it. Yeah.
Bad impression, bad first impression.
Yeah. Okay, so how you're dressed and overall cleanliness, especially the hair, those are the first things. Mm-hmm. Is it different when you're meeting a woman for the first time? It's a woman. What do you look at first?
I think it's almost the same. I think it's basically the same.
How are they dressed?
Well, not necessarily how they are dressed, but what condition their clothing is, kind of thing.
Yeah. Whether they're a snappy dresser or not, is what you meant. Yeah.
So did they bother to wear something fresh?
Right.
For meeting me.
Right.
That I think that's kind of what it boils down to. Like if you're meeting someone for the first time, whether it's business or pleasure, you should wash this part. And wash what you're wearing. At least, I think that's the least you could do.
Right.
Like all the visible
the bare
parts,
minimum.
Like the visible parts of your flesh should be clean, and the non-visible parts should be covered with clean clothing.
Now,
I think it kind of boils down to like the basic thing, right? That's my basics, I'm saying.
Moko, who apparently has now, is it true? Can it be?
What?
Did she do that?
What did she do?
Well, no, there's Moko and there's Monica. I don't know if she's changed it because now it says Monica.
Oh my
but it's
God.
the same thing. You're blowing my mind, Moko.
She can do that.
Teeth, hands, and shoes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said for teeth, hands, and shoes.
Teeth, hands, and shoes.
Unless the shoes are intentionally designed to be that way, like downtrodden and scuffed up, I think there's something for that. But definitely teeth and hands, yeah. Definitely teeth and hands.
Okay. Adjacent to this question, these are the red and green flags that we get when we're looking at somebody for the first time, or our first impression. Have you had a first impression that went positively or negatively, and then the second impression changed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Is first impression important or is second impression important?
It's difficult to say. I think a lot of the time my first impression of someone is pretty good. Like
you generally give a wide berth. You're like, I'll just take this positively, whatever your impression is.
No, what I'm actually saying is that I've met people who kind of live up to my tick boxes, but my first impression of them is I don't like this person. There's something wrong with them, and that's how they talk, how they interact, the things they talk about, and it kind of feels to me like they're actually trying to con me, or they're not quite 100% on board or something. There's something fishy about them.
Right.
And usually my wits about that are pretty good. And sometimes I'm wrong, and then I'm wrong for a long time and think, no, I was totally wrong that I gauged that person that way. And then 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line, I'm like, oh no, I was fucking right about that person.
Yeah. Okay.
That person's a total dick.
See, that's the thing, right? I am a big fan of first impressions. I will change. I have changed my opinion about somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, but my first impression is almost always right, because it's certainly not true. I have changed my impression, my perception of somebody upon second impression or so. But there is something to be said about that first thing, and it sets a bar. It's harder for a dick to get out of that than it is for somebody who's made a good first impression to fall from grace.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes it's like auditioning. Like, I know some performers that are great auditioners, but that's it.
Yeah.
And they don't get any better when the thing moves on.
Yeah.
And then there are others who are like, okay, I see where you're going, and then they, and then they work on it, and it gets better and better and better.
And I think there are people who hone what their first impression is, and they're good at making a good first impression.
Right.
But they have no follow-through capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like what Machado just said here. It's a lick and a promise, because that's what my mom would always say. When we were going somewhere, I don't know, we're going to see Auntie Hetty or I don't know, one of the aunties.
Yeah.
Because there was always a ton of aunties in my family that I didn't know how the fuck we were related, or if we even were related. But we were going to see Auntie
Hetty.
I don't know, one of those aunties, right? And and she was like, "You boys, a lick and a promise, and we're going," which meant that we had to brush our teeth, wash the visible parts of our body, and put on fresh clothes.
Yeah. I think there are. Okay, so Verena is saying, I've heard a few times that they didn't like me after the first impression, but do now. And there are people that have. I think there are people that are more generally. There are some people that are filtering. Like, I would put myself in that camp as well, Verena. I think there are people that take a shine to me, and people that don't. But maybe that's true for everybody.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, when I'm getting an impression from somebody, I like to be open to what they're doing. But for example, like you said, if they've got something going on with their hair, the thing that I hate the most, the first impression, the thing that drives me crazy is somebody who is afraid. I hate fear in people. It drives me crazy. And what I mean by that is somebody who is like so afraid to make anything happen that they'll just be like, whatever. That they won't look at you in the eye, or won't engage, because I call it fear, but maybe it's not fear, but I think it is.
People who have bad what's the word? Selbstbewusstsein, which is not. What's the English word for Selbstbewusstsein? It's one of those words that it screws you up if you go both ways.
Yeah. My point being, the thing I'll see red flags in somebody, but the thing when I feel like somebody is afraid of me, that's for me okay, because that's my filter.
It's like they don't want to interact, and because you are somebody who wants to interact, that's a turn off for you.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I mean, I know I have a big personality. I know I can be intimidating.
Yeah, don't try and sit on the sofa next to Jim, because you won't be sitting on the sofa, he will.
You can totally sit next to me on the sofa.
Yeah, I'll put my hand in your pocket.
Yeah. But self-confidence. Thank you very much for bringing yeah.
So people with low self-confidence or self-esteem.
I don't mind that, but it's when they show that they're specifically like afraid of. That drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Right. I don't mind low self-confidence. Lord knows. I have dealt with that myself. Right. I don't mind that.
So people who are standoffish somehow.
Yeah.
Like it's a combination I think it's a combination of several things that kind of make someone difficult to interact with.
Yeah.
And then and difficult to communicate with. And that I think I understand what it is. It's like a combination of a couple of things that make people like that really difficult to deal with. Yeah.
Ethan saying shoes, polished or scuffed, handshake, firm or fish, facial hair, scruffy or cleaned up. I think that goes absolutely. It totally goes along with, are they snappy dressers? The wonderful and talented Deborah Frances White, DFW. You know Deb. We've worked with her several times. Ye Olde Spontaneity Shop up in London. She and her husband Tom wrote the wonderful book, The Improv Handbook. She guested with us a couple of years ago, just before the...
See, I must have made a bad first impression because I don't remember her, or she did.
Okay. And if you don't know Deborah, you will perhaps find out about her. She runs a podcast called The Guilty Feminist, which is amazing and has won all the awards, and rightly so. If you have never checked out Deb's thing, please do.
Deborah White.
Deborah Frances White. DFW, we love her very much.
DFW.
Do you remember the show Telltales?
Yes.
That we did. That started in London with Deb and Tom.
All right.
Jonna used to work in the company of Deb and Tom. Anyway,
Carpenter.
Carpenter. So DFW, Deborah Frances White, she had this whole thing about women to wear hats, women who wear hats, and that women should wear a hat. Because her whole idea was that a woman who wears a hat is not only being noticed, but the hat represents a whole bunch of things, just like somebody who is a snappy dresser, somebody whose shoes are not scuffed but polished, somebody who's,
It's like going the extra mile.
Because it represents the care and time and conscious decisions.
The choice.
The choices that are made to take care of the hat, to make
what
sure
kind
the
of hat to wear in which circumstances.
Exactly.
Like you never wear a hat when you're driving a convertible car.
Never.
Right, that's a bad choice.
Yeah.
That leaves a bad first impression, right?
Yeah.
When you pick them up with your little MG and they're wearing a hat, no fucking way. It's like I read something today on Facebook. No, it was on Twitter. I managed to read Twitter today without using public transport. How did I do that?
I need to make a chapter about Twitter because I need to find out why you even do Twitter. But
some lady posted she was on a Tinder chat with this guy for like 3 days.
Right.
And then they finally decided they're going to meet up.
Right.
And she really liked him, and he's her type, and they're kind of the same social strata and all these things. And they decide they're going to meet up. And he writes her, so can we meet at your place? Because I'm not vaccinated and I'm not allowed to go to a restaurant. She's like, immediately became like,
Next. Yeah. Okay, so when we're looking at other people to get impressions, these are things that we look out for. How about in the other direction? You making a first impression. We've heard from Verena that sometimes she feels like people have said that she doesn't make a good first impression, but she makes up for it later. What are some best practices? Is there anything that you do consciously when you're meeting somebody for the first time? I know the internet is full of shit like this. You've got the whole NLP people doing their thing. You've got the whole status ideas of keeping your status just below the other person's.
And that can blow up in your face. I had a situation like that. Last week.
Okay.
Because I told you about this, we went to see this house that we really, really wanted to rent.
Yeah.
And we go there, and we're both totally low status, and we're very forthcoming, and kind of went there in our Sunday. Well, it wasn't Sunday best, but we
you were trying to make a good first.
Definitely went in there making a good impression, right? And this landlord was a total dick. A real fucking asshole. And I think he decided before he even met us. Like, we went there to meet him. It wasn't about could we afford the place or stuff like that. It was just we'd already submitted all that information. Right. It was just about the landlord meeting us to see what
sniffing your butt.
Sniffing your butt, exactly. And it was just the third degree from the get-go. So I think it made no difference what first impression we'd made. when we arrived there. Whatever the first impression we'd made a long time before that.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, which is interesting because these days you can make first impressions on Facebook. Because people see your name, they go to Facebook, or they go to Google, they Google you, and that's the first impression you're making.
I like you much better online.
I like you much better online.
No, but that's totally a thing. There are some people that are just better online. Yeah, okay, and so that first impression was there was no saving that. There was no saving that situation. Of course not.
There was nothing we could do to make that better.
First impressions is something I don't think about much as follower of Clay, and I totally get that. But that's the thing. The thing about impressions is you're only half of the equation. Who was it? What was her name? Patsy Rhodes. There was this woman who used to work at the National Theatre in London. It was a dialogue coach. And she said one time, she said, as soon as the words leave your mouth, they no longer belong to you. Because we can make as much of an impression we want. Mm-hmm. It's the receiver
who will
decide.
Yeah, sure.
And so, our first impressions of authenticity is only, you're only half of the equation.
Yeah, but it's...
Because the other has to
which
buy
means that
what
you
you're
can
saying.
no longer... there's no point in agonizing about the first impression that you've made once you've made the first impression. Because once the words have left your mouth, that's the impression you've made. So keep your mouth shut. Basically, this comes down to one of the topics that we really... when are we going to do this topic? It's like the benefits of keeping your mouth shut. Like, I think that could be a whole ISBAS. Mm-hmm. That could be like 3 chapters of the benefits of keeping your mouth shut.
Right. We present ourselves, and I think, sometimes we don't think about it. We put it onto autopilot, or we think it's just us. But of course, it is communication. You were mentioning researching your opponent, or researching, to find out.
RYO. Research your opponent. RYO. This should be everybody's shorthand.
Yeah. RYO, research your opponent. Like, did you ever Google somebody before meeting them?
Yeah.
See, I never think to do that.
Yeah, totally. I've done this before.
I generally will just take
I've
them
Googled
at
people
face.
who want to meet me.
Yeah.
I've Googled them first and then decided whether I want to meet them or not.
Ah, see, I never do that. I've never done that.
Like because you can go to like reviews that other people have done of this person. I mean, there's no such thing, but maybe there should be.
Oh shit! China would like to enter the chat.
But like, you can go and find out what other people think about this person.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has to be people you trust. I mean, obviously, I got offered a job a couple of weeks ago, and then I called up somebody who knows that person and said, "Should I take this job? Because they seem like they're not on the level."
So you got to be careful.
So
with
it's kind of.
I hear what you mean. I hear you.
Right?
I hear you. I've done that. I guess I never think to go, but recently, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, and I'm going to not name names, but I have a colleague who has a school, wanted to hire a teacher, asked about this person, to get some references, had like 19 women say, "Don't hire this person." Mm-hmm. There have been issues.
Right.
Decides not to. Mm-hmm. He then sues.
Oh, right.
And now she is asking these people, who said don't do this. 2 of the 19 have decided they will come forward.
Yeah.
2 of the 19.
Wow. Yeah.
And she's standing there like, but y'all said, y'all, what? It's a shitty position to be in. And so,
but this guy's obviously a dick, right?
This guy's obviously a dick.
Yeah.
But if 17 people are like, well, maybe it wasn't so bad, but I don't know. I think it's going between it's not so bad and I fear for my shit because
they don't want to get sued too.
Because there are some people that are just dicks. Do you remember when Gail was still alive? The asshole.
Oh yeah, I remember when Gail was still alive.
When Gail was still alive and she lived over in the Mecherteristengasse, and that guy
before the internet.
When the guy moved in above her, who was this litigious asshole that everybody in the seventh
Litigious?
yeah, he would litigious. He would sue everybody.
Oh,
He
a
was
litigator.
yeah, he was litigious,
Yeah.
and
You learn things on his bad.
not just a pretty face, people. I know lots of words.
Yeah, he's a pretty torso too.
Pumpkin.
Like pumpkin's the first word that comes to mind. Like you open Jim's brain, the first thing you'll find in there is pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
And then it's pecan. Next thing is pecan.
Pamplemousse.
What's the third thing down in Jim's brain?
So anyway, this dude would sue everybody, and she ended up getting a light installed in her apartment that he was allowed to turn on that told her she could rehearse now because she would practice singing for concerts. She was a beautiful singer, and this guy had the power to say during the day when she could and when she couldn't. Because she wasn't going to fight this dude.
So
there are litigious assholes out there like that, and this guy is obviously one of them. And so 17 women are saying, I can't.
Well, I learned that the hard way, and Gail probably had to learn it the hard way too. But actually, I learned it the semi-hard way. But I have.
I learned it the semi-hard way.
I learned it the
Semi-hard.
not fully erect way.
Semisolid.
But I think most people learn it the hard way. So here is advice from your Uncle Mike. It's not expensive. And in today's kind of world, you need insurance. So get legal insurance. It's like, it's a couple of bucks a month.
Yeah.
And if you have legal insurance, you can walk into any of these situations and just say, fine, sue me.
Yeah.
And if you lose, doesn't matter. Your legal insurance covers it.
Yeah.
And if they lose, fucked. So good. Get legal insurance. And it's a write-off. You can write it off your taxes.
What?
Perfect.
Okay.
And so I sued a theater company who hired me and then fired me 3 days before I started rehearsing. And I sued them. And I lost, but it didn't cost me anything. And their ploy from the get-go was, nah, you don't want to sue us. It's
going to be too much. It's going to cost so much.
It's expensive for you. And I was like, bring it on, boy.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the money that they owed me, but
I didn't have to pay. You didn't.
But
have to
I
pay
didn't have to pay for the legal costs, and I made their life hell for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
or have a nephew that's a hotshot attorney. That's right. Yeah. You're going to be the attorney to the stars. So I want to get back to something a little bit fun. What is a thing that you do when you're going to make a good first impression? Is there a strategy? Do you have a thing? Like, do you try to mirror the person? Because the internet is full of this shit, right? The NLP shit of mirroring the person or whatever. Yeah. Is there something that you'd like to do that will help you get a good first impression? To make a good first impression?
Yeah, I think I try to meet people on eye level. Like I try not to put myself underneath them, or I try not to be above them. Just be open to whatever they're doing, or what they're talking about.
Curiosity is super sexy. Curiosity is always a good first impression, I think.
I guess so, but it can backfire as well. Like with this dick I ran into.
Yeah. But you were talking about the low. Yeah. Okay. First impressions. Is there a second chance for a good first impression?
Oh, I don't know. Some people are very adamant about you've made a bad first impression and you don't get a second chance. No. But I think those people are dicks too, because I think it takes a lot of courage, and it takes interest in somebody else. Like, you've made a bad first impression on somebody you want to work with, or you want to spend time with, or you want to get involved with in whatever way, right? Yeah. And you've made a bad first impression, and they're standoffish towards you, or that they don't want to have anything to do with you, right? Yeah. And if you have the the power or the courage to come back and say, I think I made a bad first impression here. Can we clean this slate and start off again? Because it's like not when you're picking up girls in a bar and you're drunk.
Yeah.
But saying, I think that got off to a bad start.
Have you ever tried that?
I think I've tried that, yeah.
How'd it go?
I think not so great because I have nothing to say.
It's super hard, I think, to repair a first impression. I think the only way to repair a first impression that has gone sour is connection, is immediacy, is being with that person, and then you still only have a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Philly Girls thing here about the people who look really good.
Yeah.
People who look really appetizing.
Yeah.
You want to get.
Yeah.
You want to touch your non-visible bits of body up against their non-visible bits of body.
Yeah.
And then they start talking, and you lose all interest.
Yeah. I had a buddy who was beautiful. He was just a very beautiful man until he smiled. And then
It's the teeth?
It would just break his face.
Right.
Well, he just had a goofy grin.
Oh, I see.
He
didn't have bad teeth.
The teeth were fine.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't like those American teeth. It was just, they were fine. They were normal teeth. But it was just like when he would just do this, he was beautiful. And women loved him. He would be dark and mysterious.
Right.
He would sit back at the party and they would just literally crawl into his window to smoke a pipe.
Right.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But as soon as he would smile, it would break his face.
Nuts.
And what was hilarious was he would be sitting there with this deep waters, but what he was really thinking was, should I fart now or should I fart later?
Well,
I
think
feel
that's
like
the
I'm-
old actors thing,
I feel like I'm going to go pet the cat.
You want to look really intense. Multiply something in your head that you're not capable of multiplying.
Yeah.
Think about, is 57 a prime number or not?
Yeah. Count the number of lights on the bridge.
I want to get to what Ethan's saying about
Get the person to talk about themselves. They love-
unless
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
person has already decided that the first impression you've made is so bad that they're not going to talk.
They
about
don't care
themselves.
about you.
They
Yeah,
already
yeah.
don't care about
Yeah.
talking to you or with you.
But that would be then, you're too late there.
You're too late. Yeah.
Of course, Ethan is talking about this thing. Do you know that old book, I Smiled, It's Usually a Win? Yeah. Verena just has to smile and they all...
Yeah, smile and wave and
Ching. How you doing, baby?
and the carriage pulls up and she gets in and rides off into the sunset.
Yeah. The wonderful book, How to Make Friends and Influence People, which was written back in
Yeah,
the
I've read
30s.
that. It's an NLP book, isn't it?
It is not. It is not. Though, Ethan, if you can, go to the HQ and post that thing. I sent a thing. It was like all of the 20 things that he lists out. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful list of things to think about, things to try when
Who's
you're
the guy
making...
who wrote that?
I'm blanking on his name
Is
because
it
I'm
like a
drunk.
3-word name?
Exactly.
It's like something Johnson or something Harrelson or something like that.
Ethan will write it down in a second. Dale Carnegie is his name.
Dale Carnegie. That's not 3 things.
Dale Carnegie.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Carnegie. Yeah, they say that in Europe, right? Carnegie. But it's Carnegie Hall.
No, it's Carnegie Hall. Yeah,
See?
you see, you don't get it.
All right.
Bad first impression.
I think we've wrapped it up on the impressions. We know we can make good impressions. We know sometimes we don't care about good first impressions. We know that impressions
Have you
can
ever
change.
tried to make a bad impression on someone? Like go somewhere intentionally
No,
make a
but
bad impression?
I was involved with somebody who was actively trying to make a bad impression on me. And it sucked.
Really?
Because it was such a pain in the tits.
Okay.
Because it's like you see that this person is making all... Okay, so the story was, it was way back in the day, I'm playing with the Urtheater. We get invited to go and do a theater sports show with a theater company.
Was this the time you got into a fight on stage?
Yeah!
Oh, that dick.
That
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah, weird. But okay.
And do you remember we
But
met
he
those
didn't-
dudes years later?
didn't
Wasn't he
understand-
like?
he didn't understand what was
They
going
didn't
on.
understand
He
anything.
didn't know what was going on.
God damn it! God, I hated that so much.
Yeah, I worked with him a couple of times actually.
Yeah,
but
and I think you
way
introduced me
later.
into him years later, and then we were at a bar, and I ended up making nice with him. But god damn, that guy was a dick.
Yeah. Okay, we need to end the show now because I've been
Follower
drinking.
of Clay is going to be very happy because we are so long on this show. This has been the longest Isbaz ever. But let's do it. Let's say goodnight to everybody. Let's say goodnight to Verena.
And let's say goodnight to Ethan.
And let's say goodnight to Monica.
And Monica's here.
And
Philly Girl 1000.
yes, and let's say goodnight to
Muchado.
Muchado. And let's say goodnight to Dan B from Hamburg.
And you should say goodnight to Christina because I'm going to see her again and say goodnight again.
Good night, Christina.
Marcus, dude, nice to have you here.
Anna Rab in the house.
And
Good night to
follower
her.
of Clay. You're going to see her again, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I will see her.
And
Dan B.
I think that was everybody.
Marcos.
No, I said Marcus.
Oh, you said Marcos?
Yeah.
Moko?
Moko.
Which is the same as Monica?
Which is the same as Monica.
Sometimes.
How did she change her name halfway through?
No,
She's
she
trying to
was
make-
awesome.
She's trying to
She's
make a better impression.
Super good, yeah. Was that it?
I-
We
I-
got everybody.
I think that was it.
Love it.
That was it.
Thank all of you for joining us tonight, and also thank you to the folks that aren't in the chat, but we know you're slurping out there. The slurpers, the lurkers.
Hey, you
We're
slurpers
super-
and lurkers, be more like Dan B. Join the chat.
Join the chat.
Yeah,
Say
good
hi. Say hi. Next week. Next week.
Next week.
We are going to be back here
Yeah,
on
we will be.
Thursday at 8:30.
And next week is going to be Thursday the 13th.
Thursday the 13th. Yeah. So we're going to be back.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I think it was definitely about something.
Yeah, it was damn good hustle, everybody. Last slap of the day.
Slurps of the day.
We're done.
We are indeed. Isbaz will return next week.
With topics to be announced.
And for post-show shenanigans,
Also during the week
please,
shenanigans.
during the week shenanigans, between the shows shenanigans.
Yeah, zwischen den
check
shows.
Zwischen the show shenanigans. Check out the
den show
funky
shenanigans.
Facebook group.
Yeah.
The fabulous funky Facebook group.
Fabulous funky
The
face.
fantabulous funky Facebook group.
It's called Isbaz HQ.
With the bubble machine.
Is this microphone on?
Isbaz HQ, there is a link in the description. Check it out, say hi, be a part of it. And thank you for liking and subscribing. Aren't we contractually obligated to say things like that?
I'm contractually obligated to say this was the best Isbaz ever.
It has been the best Isbaz. You're right. Best Isbaz ever.
And remember,
No matter how tough the topic,
or what it was about,
even if you disagree,
you can always hug it out.
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 Hug it out. Hug it out.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Where's that thing?
Credits.
Post-credit thingy. Michael had to go to the bathroom again. No, he's coming back. No, Michael, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
This show's over when Uncle Mike has to go to the bathroom. And when I say going to the bathroom, it means taking a piss.
It's over!